What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. And how have y'all been? It's been a while since I've been on camera. It always feels funny the first time I get back on camera. I'm thinking about getting back on in front of a microphone too pretty soon. So, in this video, I want to talk about, and if I look like I just woke up, it's because I just woke up getting ready to head out to my second job. But in this video, I want to talk about narcissist self-pity to play on your emotions. I want to give y'all some examples of that. But before I get into that, I just want to tell you that narcissist demands are so high and sometimes over the top when it comes to you asking them for something or just expecting something from them. You know, the normal give and take of a relationship, a friendship, it's never equal. But you'll soon find that out the longer you deal with them. In the beginning stages of, the narcissist, of course, there's the love bombing. And during the love bombing stage, it'll seem like that whatever they did to get you in the beginning, that they will keep it up. But they're not going to keep it up. They're not. What happens is you're so blindsided by how many gifts they're throwing at you or how quickly they try to get you, by how fast they want to jump into a relationship, that you're not thinking that, well, this is not going to stay the same. You're not thinking that them being that type of person will come to an end. But they were never really that type of person. It was all a tactic just to get you. So I just want to say how narcissists, they'll go out the way. They expect you to go out the way to please them, but they're not willing on doing it in return, which just goes to show that it was all a gimmick from the beginning. If they're not willing to keep that up throughout your relationship, it was all fake from the beginning. And, but it's crazy. In return, they expect for you to just, bend over backwards for them. And God forbid you ask them to do something, just a pinch of something for you. They will swear that you are asking them to buy you a house or anything. They will come up with any excuse to where it puts them at a disadvantage. And it's like, but I will do anything for you and a half. And what they will do is probably bring up what they did in the beginning stages of your relationship, or just bring up any old thing that they've done for you, which is not in comparison to what you're asking for. Because narcissists are not fair, so of course they're not going to be equal. And they say crazy stuff to throw you off. They want to take you away from the conversation. That's why they, do the word salad thing and just do the crazy making to make you seem like that you're imagining these things. They just say anything to take you from the conversation. They like to mess with your mind. And if they could get inside your head and control you in that way, they will. So, back to the video. Narcissists use self-pity to play on your emotions. They do this by, say, for example, you're in a relationship with a narc. And you start to notice a change in your narc partner. They probably lost a job for whatever reason. Probably was their fault. They got fired. When it happens, the narcissist will start to feel sorry for themselves instead of, picking themselves up and doing something about it. Fixing a problem, find another job, Instead of them doing what normal people do, they just rather sit in self-pity, poor me, and they start to let themselves go. So when you point that out to them, that you notice a change in them. Now, first of all, I'm not advising anybody to, be in this toxic relationship with a narcissist, so where you have to constantly fix them or try to make them feel better all the time, because it's just gonna take away from you. It's just gonna Totally drain you. So I'm not advising anybody to be with a narcissist, but I'm just saying when you're with a narc, or if you're not aware of that you're with a narcissist, this person is probably a narcissist. They use self-pity to play on your emotions. You tell them about the self, they get mad. They take it as an attack. They take it as criticism. You're pointing out things to them that doesn't need attention. When you're telling them that, it's coming from a place of love and caring. If they're not going to, if anything, they're not going to receive it that way. And it'll tell you that by how much they're going to reject your offer. They're not trying to hit at. If anything, you're just picking on them. And what they do is pity themselves like, oh, yeah, just pick on the poor person who just lost their job. Yeah, you really should feel good about yourself. And it's like, that was not my intentions. You turning this into something that it's not. Like, why I gotta be all that? I'm telling you that you need to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and get back at it. Get back on your feet. You're not going to get anywhere just sitting here and self-pity. But when you're talking to narcissists, they're not going to receive it in that way. They're going to take it as an attack. So they start to feel bad for themselves. And you may even hear them say things like, say, for example, if you call them out on if they have borrowed money from you in the past, and they come to you for a third time trying to borrow money, and you're like, okay, well, you haven't paid me back from the first two times you borrowed money, and you asking for it again. And you can tell them in a nice way, and they'll get mad. It's like there's no understanding with the narcissist. They take everything as an attack. They take everything negative, you know, and they'll say things like, well, I apologize. I'll never do it again. They'll tell you, I'll never ask to borrow money from you again. Like if you wrong for telling them, well, hold up, wait a minute. You owe me money from the past and you borrowing on top of that? No, I can't. I can't do that. You don't think something wrong with that? You could talk to a narcissist in the most delicate way, tiptoeing around their feelings, and they're still not going to get it because they don't want to get it. They don't want to be taught a lesson. They think they know it all. And you're wrong for pointing out the obvious to them. Narcissists are very weak. They're very weak. They're not bold and they're not strong. That's why they have to lie to get their way. That's why they lied to get into your life. And then sooner or later, down the line, throughout the relationship, you'll start to see the mask slip. You'll start to see the true character. Some people may be in denial about it and give them the benefit of the doubt, but you keep doing that, you're only going to see the more and more of the true person. But you cannot tell a narcissist, look in the mirror and look at yourself. Don't you think you can make some changes? You know, even if you take it to a spiritual side, of course, they hate God. They think they are bigger than God. They think they know more because God is the the almighty knowing all, and they will not accept anyone knowing more than them because that means they have to follow rules, and they refuse to follow rules, so there's no one greater than them. So of course your opinion don't matter, and of course they're not going to take a lesson in a spiritual way. They're going to reject it, you know um but yeah, you just can't point out nothing to the narcissist that gives them constructive criticism. They're going to take it as like you're attacking them. And another thing, what I was going to say is, they say, well, you're picking on me, and you're not picking on them. But it's funny that they do that to you all the time. They're mean-spirited. They're grouchy. They pick on you out of the blue. They have dark humor. They laugh at things that humiliate you. They humiliate you in public. They're a whole different person with you in public than they are with you in private. So it's like you pull them aside privately and point out things to them that other people are shoo-shooing about. And Not saying because people haven't approached them with things they don't care about them, but you take it to them in a way because of your relationship and you feel comfortable enough to do so. They'll have the nerve to say, who do you think you are? And start to point out things about you that you can fix. And it's like, okay, but I'm not saying I can't fix it. And thank you. Thank you for pointing that out to me. They'll roll their eyes and get mad because they didn't want that response. Narcissists, it's all about getting their needs met. And if you're not saying something to them that constantly just caters to them, catering to their need, giving them what they want, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to know how they can go out and get it on their own. That's the hard way to them. They want it easy so they can shine on everybody and brag about what they have rather than how they got it. They don't want to earn anything. They just want it to be given to them easy. So everything about the narcissist is negative. You just can't reason with them. You can never compromise. You can never get them to see eye to eye and have a clear understanding. And of course, they're very illogical. They look at everything as through their eyes and by their way of life. If they don't agree to it, then you're wrong, and there's no coming to an agreement with them. They may pretend that for so long, but it's going to turn into a punishment that you're not expecting because they put on an act like they're good with you, and that's why you should never go back into a toxic relationship with a narcissist. You shouldn't go back in no toxic relationship, but especially with a narc, because they're going to do everything they can to manipulate you and gaslight you into believing you were wrong for the breakup. They're going to manipulate you and brainwash you into thinking that you should be apologizing for them doing you wrong. Go back into the relationship, and then bam, it starts all over again, but it's going to be 10 times worse. And it happens all the time because there was never no accountability on their behalf. They're never going to admit to mistakes. They're never going to admit to, flaws. And everybody has flaws. And by you calling them out on something doesn't mean that you're perfect. It's not like you're saying because everybody should be more like me. It's not like you're saying that, but that's what the narcissist takes from you because that's how they feel. That is what they want people to feel about them. They want to be idolized. And it's like you have taken that away from them once you call out a flaw. And that's, far from your intentions. Again, you're coming from a place of love and caring, but of course they're not going to receive it that way. So yeah, they pity. They self-pity to play on your emotions. And before you know it, you will find yourself apologizing to them and you didn't even do nothing wrong. So before you do that, hit yourself, think about it, because you know it's going to happen. Just say your piece and leave it alone. When they come back at you with the self-pity and, oh, yeah, pick on me, you must feel big picking on me while I'm already down, kicking me while I'm down. You must feel really good about yourself, and it's like they're trying to make you feel bad. Don't fall for that. Just be like, oh, you might even want to laugh it off and be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's me, that's what I do because that's what I'm known for. Yeah, that's me. Okay, all right then. And just be done with it. Don't give them the argument, the back and forth, the explanation to clear it up or nothing. Just walk away because it ain't even worth it. Don't waste your breath on the narcissist mind games because that's all it is. It's mind games. They want you to fall into that trap of apologizing and you didn't do nothing wrong because they live in a world of self-pity when they can't have things their way. And you're just telling them right. Narc partners, I just feel like it all comes along with it's all a part of the equally yoked when it comes to relationship, depending on how far you want to take things. If you want love and commitment, you want long-term marriage, You want your partner to be your best friend. You know, that type of thing. You know, those type of couple goals. You want a real good thing. You want something that that's a blessing from God. You want God to bless what y'all have. When you want that, you cannot have that with a narcissist. Just putting it out there. You're better off being by yourself. You'll be happy by yourself. Because the narcissists, they're already draining people. They already drain you. You're just gonna go through that relationship carrying burdens. You're gonna go through that relationship carrying a blame, taking the blame, constantly fixing them, explaining, over explaining, apologizing, over apologizing. Just too much. It's just gonna take so much from you. So imagine when they going through the downward spiral, a narcissist, not any other person, uh, not normal people who go through the downward spiral. A narcissist, they really go into the deep self-pity mode, and they'll blame you for trying to give them a hand to get up out that hole. They'll blame you and say, "Oh, so what, you think you better than me? You feeling sorry for me now?" Like, what? Where that come? Who does that? You know? And they'll get to bringing up what they've done in the past that's probably better than what you've accomplished. Like, okay, now why are we doing comparisons? I'm not in competition with you. You know, I support you. I'm on your side. I'm giving you advice as a friend, partner, or family member would do. Why are you taking it that way? You know? So that's how it is with those narcissists. Expect nothing different. So thank y'all for watching it in this video, and I'll talk to you soon.